What do you think?
It's getting pretty bad, isn't it?
It's been like it for a while as well.
I don't think she's clearing up. Let me see how thick it is. Pretty thick. I reckon it's especially bad on these here bumps, look. Look at this. I need a pickaxe. I think it might be time.
Let's film.
Let's film.
I think a lot of you probably guessed already, but we're putting the studs in the tyres.
So since we shipped into Nova Scotia, we've driven 7,250 miles across Canada to where we are now. And 95% of that has been on perfectly cleared tarmac roads. That was until yesterday. Because as you can see, the tarmac has disappeared beneath a thick sheet of ice and compact snow. And as the only way from here is north, I don't think that's going anywhere.
And these little beauties are the only thing that keep you on the road. Now, I've got the Conforza CF1100s, but I think in these conditions, they're absolutely brilliant. And they're one of the cheaper tyres too. But no matter what tyres you've got on, if you hit a sheet of ice on the road, well, I'll let my mate Alex Frood explain to you what could happen.
Sometimes you're on the road looking at the scenery. Sometimes you're in the scenery looking at the road.
Well, thankfully, Fruity is A-OK and his van was too. But as we found out on this trip, that's not always the case.
But fortunately, there's a solution, which is studded tyres. And what they are is little metal spikes embedded into the outside of your tyre. And as they roll round, they grip into the ice and give you traction. And I like to think of it as being a bit like wearing football or soccer boots. They stick into the mud and give you grip. But the trouble is, we've been travelling on loads of cleared tarmac on this trip, which is a bit like the difference between wearing your football boots in mud and on concrete. All the concrete does is wear them down and then they're no good when you come to use them.
So our way to get around that is to use these removable studs. I've got 40 of them for each tyre, and when you buy them, you get this little tool which slots into your drill, and then you put the stud into it like that, which then means you can screw them in. So I've jacked the wheel up and I've worked out a pattern where I can screw them in, so as the tyre rotates, there's always going to be at least a couple of screws in the ice at any one time. So you can see how easy that was to go in, and I've screwed it so it's flush, so the only bit sticking out is this little tip. So even if that wears right down to the bottom, this tool is always going to be able to go in and remove them. That's one done, another 159 to go. Four wheels, Romeo done. So as you can see, I've got a stud opposite either side and then one in the middle, and it's pretty much like that all the way along. So hopefully that'll give us plenty of traction. But whilst I was doing it, I gave the van a little bit of an inspection whilst I was underneath, and we got a couple of injuries. So the first one is this front strut here. The rubber boot that covers it is all split, and it was actually seized to the strut at the bottom. So I managed to free it up, and I'll get it up there. So I'll have to do a temporary fix on that for now. And then let's just say the Canadian roads are
Bit rough on the vehicle?
pothole friendly, shall we say, but I can understand why, because the difference in temperatures and also the fact that they're scraping the road all the time and everything like that. But the old rear anti-roll bar bushes are absolutely goosed, so I don't know if you can see that. So I think I'll have to get some ordered up and replace them. All temporary fix done. Just a bit of that neoprene matting that we put in the back of the wardrobe. I've got no expectation of it lasting, but it's all we got, so it'll do for now anyway.
Baby, why you leaving me? Baby, what you done with me for? Is it because of him?
everybody, to Dawson City.
This place has to be one of the best places we've gone to so far. Remember when we went to Spain and we went to all them old Wild West buildings on the movie sets? Well, this place is the real deal.
Dawson City is a genuine gold rush gem. If you took away the cars and the power lines, you could see yourself in the mud among the 40,000 stampeders that battled their way here in the 1890s, hoping to strike it rich. A few did, but most lost anything they made to the gambling, drinking and other entertainment in the town. The people of modern day Dawson might have cars, but they don't seem to get a lot of use in the winter. Do you reckon your snowblower would handle that, boy?
The backpack blower would. Believe it or not, there is a car under there.
They go for a different mode of transport. It seems every house has got one, and even the kids have their own mode of transport here too. With the buildings looking so old and in keeping, it's hard to believe they still do what they say on the tin. Yeah, really is the general store. Nobody's surprised to find me in this section. Tongs in hand. I think we'll try banana chocolate muffin. One of these dinky little cinnamon rolls. They're so small, look, they don't even count. Well, I don't think it's quite what they would have stocked here in the 1890s, but I'm happy with my haul. So as you can imagine, a fair bit of planning goes into these trips, and the way I figure out our routes is I have a look at what there is to do in a place and then just save all the pins on Google Maps, and we basically just play dot to dot. But that means I need the internet on my phone for things like navigating around cities, checking restaurant opening times, all those kinds of things. Trouble is, roaming fees can be extortionate and buying a physical SIM card can be a right pain in the bum. When we went to Morocco last year, we nearly ran out of fuel because I didn't want to pay the inflated prices for a SIM card at the port or buy from a dodgy seller, and then we couldn't find a fuel station. If I'd had an eSIM, like the ones that Saily, the sponsor of this week's video, do, it would have automatically activated the moment we got to Morocco, and I could have just used internet like normal from the get-go. If you don't know what an eSIM is, it's just a digital SIM card that you download and install on your phone rather than a physical one that you have to put in, and it runs alongside your normal number so you don't have to change it. To get a Saily eSIM, all you have to do is download the app and choose the plan that works for you, remembering to use the code TRUEBLUE for a 15% discount, and then follow the easy step-by-step instructions to install it on your phone. It'll then activate when you get to the country that you bought it for, and away you go.
They do eSIMs for over 190 different countries, and if you travel into more than one country, they do ones for different regions and global ones too.
Which is a godsend in places like Europe where you can change countries as often as you change your pounds. They offer 24/7 support and a full refund if it doesn't work with your device. I'll put a link in the description for you, and don't forget to use our code TRUEBLUE for an exclusive 15% discount.
Just spotted some it in the middle of the road. One of my favourite things to do. What have we got here, look? Little bungee boy! Going straight in my basket. Little bungee!
You've risked stopping on
Little
a
bungee.
road for a bungee. You've got $1 million with you. Oh my God. We had planned to stay in Dawson City tonight and go out for dinner, but it's a Sunday afternoon and everything is closed. So we decided, seeing as we've got a couple more hours of daylight, we'd make a jump start on the Dempster Highway. Arctic Circle, we're coming for round 2. Eat your heart out, Icefields Parkway. The Dempster Highway sees you and raises you. The first part of the Dempster Highway didn't open until 1979, and the final section to Tuktoyaktuk only opened in 2017. It follows the old dog sled routes through the wilderness, and as you're driving along, you can really imagine the teams of huskies are running alongside you in the snow. Nicknamed the Goodyear Highway because it claims so many tyres each year, this gravel road will lead us across the Continental Divide 3 times, through 2 mountain ranges and all the way to the Arctic Ocean.
Look at this poor bloke. I wonder how long that's been there.
How are we going to get it out? He's not in there, is he?
Yeah, he's been picked up. What a sunrise this morning. See if we can get the old time lapse of it. What an absolute fail that was. The sunrise is behind the van. And I think this has to be one of the most isolated spots we've ever had. I think the only thing that trumps it is when we was in Oz in the outback. That one was an absolute middle of nowhere jobby that, but I thought I'd show you whereabouts we are. Ready? It's these kind of places where you can do whatever you want in. But I just got to get the drone back. Where is it? Can't see it.
At least life with him is never dull. But Nudie Boy was right. The remoteness of this place is definitely reminding me of Australia, even though we couldn't be climatically or geographically further apart. But the thing that's reminding me of home the most, the corrugations. It's like being in the old beauty highs again. Oh my God. This is insane. Look at the van. Look at it. First signs of civilization for 368 k's. First fuel too. But there's something else that you lot have told me we absolutely have to do while we're here. Best welcoming committee ever. Hello, darling. Hi. Hello.
I'm not a fan of working on the old Kenworths because we used to have quite a few in Oz. But one thing's for sure, they do look cool.
This is the Eagle Plains Roadhouse, where the true north begins, according to my placemat. And you guys have told us they do the best food going. But while we wait, I thought I'd show you some of the quirks of this place. The server was telling us that he thinks there's more dogs here than there is staff. And they've got all these cool things around the place. So there's this old outboard motor here. And then over on the walls, look, there's all these old pictures from like 1911. They've got old oil lamps on the wall, a ringer, axes. But John's personal favourite at the back here, look at this old vintage snowmobile. What a beauty. And even the condiments come on a kick sled.
Thanks, mate.
Looks brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
Good, eh?
Really good. Well, I don't know what I enjoyed more, the food or the company. Both were excellent. But what was a little bit painful was the price of the fuel. $2.50 a litre. Bearing in mind we've been paying about $1.70, but you don't mind out here, do you?
No, like you think they've got to drive all the way out here just to put it here, but still cheaper than England, I have to say.
True. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs, cats, horses, whatever you live with, we are about to cross the Arctic Circle in North America. There's the sign, baby. I think this is definitely a moment that needs to be marked with the obligatory pictures. The good old Sainsbury's van does it again.
Second Arctic.
Go on, girl.
I'll
Get
beat it.
in.
But the big question is, seeing as though the old Sainsbury's van's done 2 Arctics now, when we do the third one next year,
When's When is this happening?
Do we take the Sainsbury's van again, or do we build a whole new van? Decisions.
Mother told me as a child, boy, don't play around with fire, 'cause you might just end up getting burned. And I know
Poor old little John's getting exposed to the elements today.
there's some lessons hard for me to learn.
Up to this point on this trip, we have been through 10 Canadian provinces so far, starting in Nova Scotia, then New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, and of course the Yukon, but we've made it to our 11th. The Northwest Territories. Bit of a frosty welcome though. Watch for aircraft landing on highway. That's totally normal. Sign you see every day. Only a K. And if you're wondering, this, my friends, is what a highway that is also an airstrip looks like. A highly corrugated, icy, unlevel piece of road. Hello, Mr. Arctic Fox.
Why is he not white?
I don't know, I think some of them are red. Look how fluffy he is though. He's got really short legs.
He's almost like a dog looking, isn't he?
Yeah, he's beautiful. Not like any fox I've ever seen. Is that a pup?
Last time we did the Nordics though, we had some unfinished business.
We did indeed. Ice roads. None of the ice was thick enough for us to do.
So today is the day we do our first ice road.
Here we go, baby.
Jess!
I didn't hold the whole thing.
I love the way we just both went as if what was going to happen, you know what I mean?
At least I thought I had the presence of mind to press down.
We were about to get a dash cam on that. In fact, Jess trying to kill us with a drone in the van. Maximum weight, 60,000 kilos.
I think we'll be alright
I
then.
think we're good.
Here we go, baby, here we go.
Only a short one, eh?
This is the little warm-up one before the mighty Mackenzie. This is the Peel River.
What's crazy about this is in summer, when this is all thawed out, the only way to get across here is by this little ferry.
What's even more crazy is that in the spring and the fall, there's no way to get across at all because the ice isn't thick enough to drive on, but it's too lumpy and slushy for the ferry to get through. So the only way to get any further than north than here is to fly. Well, we've come to our second ice road crossing, the mighty Mackenzie River, which is the longest river in Canada at 1,080 miles long, and it's between 1 mile and 4 miles wide the whole way along. So she's a beast, this one.
And this one could take 64,000 kilos, so I think we're good again. Oh wait there, just passing some traffic. What he's doing though?
It's driving straight at us.
Yeah. Well, you're allowed to stop them.
Yeah, obviously. Hello.
You are, mate?
Thank you. Are you good?
So in the springtime, when the ice moves,
Yeah.
you see there's a yellow truck right up in the hill,
Oh
Yeah.
and there's two orange loaders.
yeah.
The water was up to the top of the loaders.
No way.
So we're probably on about 8 feet of ice right now.
8 feet. We were wondering how deep it
Yeah.
was.
But then if you get off the road there, it's only probably about 3 feet.
Because they plough it so that it gets thicker, don't they?
And they flood it. Like every
And they flood it as well.
And they put 4 inches of ice.
Fascinating.
Oh, well, thanks very much for all your info.
Thank you ever so much. I hope you didn't think I was rude. I've got our drone in the air and I was just making sure I didn't lose it.
Lovely
Thanks
to
for
meet you.
stopping to say hi. So nice to meet you.
Hey, take care.
Cheers, mate. What a lovely bloke he was.
What a legend! And for context, when that lovely chap was telling us that the water gets up high and to look at where these tracks are, this is where he meant. Mental. And if you're a fan of the show Ice Road Truckers, you might recognise the name the Mackenzie River, the one we just crossed, because before this road was finished, the truckers used to have to drive all the way up the length of the river and out onto the Arctic Ocean to deliver supplies to Tuktoyaktuk, and that's where they filmed the show.
It's got rust on him as well. There's one down there though.
Yeah, he is giving it big leaps.
boy!
What do you think to that then, boy?
Oh, I love it.
We've made it to Inuvik. Look at this, Johnny boy. Civilization. Houses. Power lines. What is this? This town's got a population of about 3,000 people, and as seems to be the running theme with this vlog, it's fairly unique. It's got a couple of quirky things about it, including its most famous landmark, which is this church behind me, which was intentionally built to look like an igloo. And it comes complete with a half-built igloo out the front for the kids. But most fascinatingly, I think, is that the entire town is built on permafrost, and so as to not damage and melt it, all of the houses and buildings have to be built on stilts. And even more unusually, they can't dig underground to run all their utilities like power and water and sewage and gas and those kinds of things. And so they build these utilidors above ground, which are made out of steel or concrete, and that's where all their services run in and out and network around the town.
Look at this little beauty. I reckon that's the next camper, that is. Look at that little gem. That is quality, that.
Watch the road, John, watch the road.
Brilliant bit of kit, that is. If you thought that was cool, wait till I show you this little beauty. I think they're called Sherpas. I've seen them on the internet and they're pretty much indestructible. There was one video where it said if you can get it stuck, you can keep it. And then the way to get in them is through the front there. That door opens. That is absolutely mega, that. And then you got the old buggies. Skidoos. Oh, brilliant. I've got to have another look. We've got no need to go on this ice road. We just saw it running all the way along. It goes to, where is it?
Macclesfield?
That's the one.
Yep, it's the town that used to be the main town before Inuvik, but they had to move it because it kept flooding.
But this is a long ice road, so we thought, why not? And also, there's a beautiful sunset to go with it. Look at the sign. There's a sign on an ice road.
And there's a speed limit sign of 70 kilometres an hour on this frozen river we're trying to go.
Is that what we can do?
70.
Love it.
Look at this, look. You can proper see the frozen river down the middle there.
We go on it.
No, thank you.
Go on it.
Oh my God. I don't think you're supposed to drive on this bit. Get off! Pancakes, Nutella, fruit salad, maple syrup, strawberry jam. Just missing one thing. Ice cream. Joys of travelling in winter. Get in my belly.
Well, I couldn't not come for a walk on the old ice road this morning, but it looks like the locals are off to work. I'm not sure if they're the military because they've got military gear on and they've got all hunting gear on the old sleds on the back. Another day. There's also a new sign on the road today as well. Warning, athletes on the road ahead. What that means, I'll never know. What athletes, just, you never know what's coming in this place.
Well, we did have a look this morning to see whether you could still go all the way up the ice road, but I don't think they maintain it all the way to Tuk anymore.
We need to speak to a local, that's what we need to do.
We do indeed. So we've got the last 150 k's of the old Dempster Highway to the Arctic Ocean.
Well, we have good news.
Really?
I've just been speaking to them and they reckon that you can go to Macclesfield, wherever it is,
Yeah.
and then you get to there, you go another ice road across to McPherson, is it? McPherson?
Fort McPherson.
Fort McPherson, and then you can get onto the Dempster.
Yeah, but that's going back in a circle.
What?
We went to Fort McPherson yesterday.
Ah. We've not seen any abandoned cars so far, but what we have seen is a few abandoned snowmobiles.
We're baffled.
Canadians, you need to explain this one. What is up with these snowmobiles? Honestly, we've seen probably about 100 along this road, and I know we've said it a few times in this video, but let me show you how in the middle of nowhere we are at the minute. But there's no lay-bys to pull in, so we're just on the road at the minute, and the snow is so deep to get down to them. I just don't understand what the deal is with them.
And also, where are they going in them? This place officially wins the award for the coolest vehicles we have ever seen. Oh my god, a real life Arctic fox. No freaking way. Oh look, he's beautiful. Can you get him? Oh, he's stunning. The final outpost on this epic journey is the hamlet of Tuktoyaktuk, known by locals as Tuk. The Inuvik have lived here for thousands of years, but it became a permanent settlement in the early 1900s. It has a natural harbour, and because of driftwood from the Mackenzie Delta, allowed the building of sod houses rather than igloos. Residents of Tuk still often hunt and fish for food, travelling overland to traditional spots. Modern and traditional lifestyles contrast here, and even the local convenience store highlights that, stocking dirt bikes and furs in the one little store.
Well, we made it to the Arctic Ocean.
We thought it was only appropriate that we got dressed the right way.
We got the Sainsbury's van and the Sainsbury's gear. But don't worry, there's no substitutions.
And frozen goods only. Go on, you little beauty.
But we're frozen because it's about -30 today. Well, we try not to moan about the weather, and we try not to film inside as much as we can. But
Both are happening today.
because the wind chill is unreal. It's not so much the temperature that gets you, but when you open your mouth, the wind freezes your teeth. I can't explain how it
And you
works.
can feel it like travelling up the nerves of your face into your nose. I just can't describe the feeling.
But it feels weird to be here, really. It feels like we're at the end of the earth.
It's so surreal. We're literally sat here looking out onto the frozen Arctic Ocean, knowing that there could be polar bears and all sorts out there. It's just wild.
And what I love about coming to places like this, Tuktoyaktuk is a dingy town. Inuvik was a dingy town, but I love it because it's almost like nowhere else in the world is like it.
They're
you
just
see,
so unique, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're an end of the line post in a remote wilderness.
yeah, you just see the strangest things, and that's the thing I love.
Such a
really,
different way of life,
And the
isn't it?
journey to get here as well is half the fun,
It's a
isn't
huge
it?
part of the adventure.
Yeah.
And we still have loads more adventure to come because we've still got Alaska and then to make our way back down through Canada and to the rest of the states. So
I'm looking forward to Alaska so much as well. That's another one that's can't
So-
wait for.
we'll look forward to seeing you on our next adventure. And thanks so much for watching and coming with us. And don't forget about that sailor link in the description.